My name is Shinde Sakshi. Today's date is 17 October 2024. Today's topic is the iterative statements. In Java, the iterative statements, also known as the loops, are used to repeatedly execute a block of code as long as a given condition is true. These loops are the fundamentals for the automating repetitive task in the program. Java supports the following type of loops. First one is the for loop, second one is the while loop, third one is the do while loop. First for loop. The for loop is the ideal when the number of iteration is known. Beforehand, it contains the three parts: initialization, set of the starting point. Second is the condition. Loop runs as long as the condition is true. And third is the updation. That means the modify the loop variable after each iteration. It allows the efficient control of looping with a fixed number of iterations. Second one is the while loop. The while loop is used when the number of iterations is not known in the advance. It checks the condition before each iteration, meaning the loop body never run if the condition is false initially. Third one is the do while loop. Unlike the while loop and do while loop, guaranteed that the loop body will execute at least once, as the condition is checked after executing the loop body. Fourth is the enhanced for loop for each loop. This loop is designed for the iterating over the array collections without needing to manage the index. It is useful scenario where the each element data structure need to be processed the individually. Fifth one is the break and continue statement. Break exists the loop entirely even if the loop's conditions remains true. Next is the continue. Skip the current iteration and move to the next iteration for the iteration of this loop. And this constructs allows developers to perform the repetitively task efficiently, handle the verifying data sets, and control the program flow dynamically. Introduction of the iterative statements. In this, also known as the loops, is the repeat block of code multiple times. This is essential for handling the repetitive task effectively, reducing code duplication, and simplifying the complex processes. In Java, there are the three main type of loop: while loop, do while loop, for loop, for each loop. Specific case of understanding this is the crucial efficient programming. In the for loop is the most commonly used loop, ideal when the number of iteration known beforehand. It is consists the three parts: initialization, condition, and updation. Syntax of for loop is the for initialization, semicolon, condition, semicolon, and increment, decrement, and curly braces close. For example, for int is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, system in the curly braces, system dot out dot println and printing the I. Initialization, it runs once, beginning int I is equal to 0 is the initialization of variable. Condition, this is checked before each iteration if I is less than is equal to in the looping condition, otherwise it terminates. And increment decrement happens the each iteration I plus plus increments the value by 1. And while loop, in the while loop, more flexible can be used when the number of iterations and known beforehand. It checks the condition before executing the loop body. Syntax of while loop is the while in bracket condition code to be executed curly bracket close. For example, int I is equal to 0 while in bracket I is less than 5, system dot out dot println printing I, and then I plus plus curly braces close. The loop will be continue as long as the I is less than 5. It's true printing values from the 0 and the 0 to 4. In the do while loop, the do while loop is similar while loop. It is main difference that body executes at least once, regardless the condition, because the condition is checked after the loop has run. Syntax: do code to be executed while in condition. For example, int I is equal to 0, do curly braces open, system dot out dot println I plus plus, and then curly braces close, while in bracket I is less than 5. Even if the condition is false, initially the loop will be executed at least once. Fourth is the nested loop. Nested loop in Java allows the loops to be one the loop inside another. It is useful scenario like iterating over the multidimensional arrays. For example, for int I is equal to 0, I is less than 3, I plus plus. For int j is equal to 0, j is less than 2, j plus plus. System.out.println I plus j plus I. The outer loop in the run the 3 times, and for each iteration outer loop inner loop in the 2 times. Break and continue statements. Break is used to exit the loop when a certain condition is met. That's all about the iterative statement in Java. Thank you.